Welcome to Real Spooky Events. I'm your host, Alden Archambault, and I will interview people about spooky stories in their life. It could range from, the minor ghost story to brushes with death. Throughout the episodes, I will interview people about their experiences and how it even affects them today. For most people, the bathroom is a safe space, a place where your guard is the most down. But what would happen if something bad was in there waiting for you? In the next story, we'll see what happens. I was around 6 or 7 at the time of this story, and I was at a summer camp. And I'm having fun, doing my thing, playing around, but one day I had to use the bathroom. And so, the camp counselor let me, and I went to the bathroom. But when I was in there, I heard this really, really strange, gravelly voice saying something like,
"Hello there."
And I was definitely surprised and scared because that is a really weird voice. And I was trying to be polite, I guess, but I was still really scared. So I was just trying to nervously get out of the bathroom as quick as I could. And for some reason, the voice was sort of polite, but it kept saying
"Look in the vent."
There was a vent, I think, below the sink, and I was just yeah, no, I think I'm all good, but it really wanted me to look in the vent, and I didn't really know what to do at that point, because I was washing my hands then, and I basically just bolted out of there, and it was pretty nerve-wracking, because I was afraid that there was going to be something that would jump out at me. But I told nobody for some reason, I don't know why, but after the fact, there was I told my parents, there's this weird voice in the bathroom, and they were sort of doing that half believe you thing, oh yeah, sure, but it might have been just another kid trying to pick on, or not really pick on me, but just mess with me. But it sounded like a grown adult, which was the scariest part, because if it wasn't a ghost, then a grown, I think it was a man, would have been in the bathroom making a creepy voice, which I find honestly scarier than if it was a ghost. There you have it, folks. Our first scary story of the podcast. But don't worry, the show's not over for this episode. We still got one more scary story from yours truly. A lot of us have had imaginary friends in the past, but what if your imaginary friend turned out to be not what you thought it was? So around the time of this story, I was in daycare, and I I was a little kid and I had a crazy imagination, so I had an imaginary friend. His name was Max, if I remember correctly, and he was like me. He was about the same size as me. He had blonde hair and a corduroy on that was blue and striped with white stripes. Even now, I think I was 4 at that time, but I can still remember him pretty vividly. He, for some reason, would never open his mouth. He would just smile, he'd play with me, fun little kid stuff. But he would never talk or open his mouth, which at the time I didn't think anything of it, because it's just it's an imaginary friend. When I went to the new daycare after the fact, I never saw my imaginary friend Max again, and I feel like if it was an imaginary friend, it probably would have followed me there, but I don't know, I never saw him again. So I did some research recently, because I just wanted to know if I could find anything, but I couldn't find anything too conclusive. The closest I could find was a boy named Max who's born further away from where I live, and he died at the age of 3, but he's buried pretty far away from where I was going to daycare, and I couldn't find any pictures of him. So that was the closest thing I could find, but it's really hard to find any information that dates back so far here. This episode podcast thing, and I hope to make more of them and interview more people than just me. If you enjoy this, consider tuning in next time. Alright, peace.